Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today we're going to be looking at my March TBR. So as I'm filming this, it's currently actually mid-February, but I am about to go away and I won't get a chance to film when I come back for this video to go up. So here we are. We're going to talk about March. So at this point in time, I'll tell you what I'm still currently reading that I'm hoping to finish. And then we'll get into what I want to read in the month of March. So currently I'm still reading Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. I'm rereading that, ready for the sequel. I'm doing that audibly. I love the audiobook. If you are wondering about reading this massive book, because it is quite chunky, and you think maybe an audiobook is the way to go, the narrator is awesome. I really enjoy it, so definitely check that out. And I'm still currently working through, I'm just going to show both editions, Goggle because my Instagram stop for this is on the 29th, I want to say, right at the end of the month. But I have a interview that is live streamed with these authors, Jeff Noon and Steve Beard, on the 28th. As I'm filming this right now, once the thumbnail and everything has been approved, I will then post it to my Twitter, so make sure you check that out. Link's always down below if you want to. And the link will be there as well, ready for you to save and come and join us. And we'll talk about all things Gog Magog and writing and all those fun things. So yeah, be sure to come along for that. I'm sure it's going to be a really interesting interview. But those are the two books that I'm definitely going to be finished with by the end of the month. So we got some stuff to carry over. March is going to be, for me, the month of finishing things off. It's also Realmathon, hosted by Covers with Cassidy. I'm not sure if I'm going to take part, if I'm completely honest. I have had a look, it looks really good. It sounds like a really fun readathon, but I really struggle to take part in readathons currently. Don't know what it is. When I first started this booktube and kind of just being part of the book community, I found readathons really helpful. I found they really helped my reading. G's readathon, which used to be the magical readathon years ago, which has now changed into something even cooler, if I'm honest. That was the first readathon I took part in, and I pretty much completed the whole thing that I had set out for myself. It was different times. I was, you know, sat at home not doing anything because it was 2020, but it was still really fun, whereas now I just really struggle to do readathons. But if I am going to do a readathon, it's going to be Cassidy's in the month of March because it sounds like fun. So the books that I'm going to be actually starting and finishing in the month of March are going to be none other than The Price of Power by Rob J. Hayes, which is the second book in the Ties That Bind trilogy. I'm reading this with Lisa. We do it for our It's All About Fantasy book club read along. The Twitter is always linked down below. Make sure you join us. We did the live stream for Heresy Within on my channel. I'll link it up here for you. It was such a good time. We had a special guest as well. It was so much fun, and it was really nice to have an outside perspective as well. We had Mia from Fantasy Book Critic, or he's one of the reviewers, I should say, for Fantasy Book Critic, and he loves these books. He has such an in-depth knowledge of these books. It was really, really cool. It was so much fun to talk to him and hear his thoughts and feelings, as he's read these books probably multiple times by this point, and we've only read it once, so it was really fun to hear his thoughts and feelings. So I can't wait to see what he has to tell us and what insight he's going to give us for the second book, because it's going to be something, I'm sure. And then the other book that I don't have physically yet to show you is Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff. I want to read this month. I want to read it as soon as it comes out. I want to be part of the hype. I want to see what it's about. I loved the first book, Empire of the Vampire. I will say I feel personally as if J. Kristoff is the reason I'm getting back into vampires. They seem to be making a resurgence since my teen years, and I'm okay with that, if I'm honest. So I'm looking forward to giving the sequel a go. And then the final book that I want to start and finish in the month of March, for definite. I have also got Spiffbo books that I want to read on the side, but these are the three, really, that I just want to knock out this month, because I have got a lot of Sphinx reads that I need to finish as well. So I'm trying to minimise the amount of books that I own to kind of get through the competitions that I am judging in, and then hopefully it'll start to calm down a little bit once that is done. But this is my buddy read with Kate, and it is none other than Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. I have managed to batter the corner of this somehow, probably through moving. I've had this on my shelf for a while now. I was originally drawn into this book by the American cover, and I tried to get the American cover of this book because I like the bright pink on the yellow, but the American cover was nicer when it came out originally. So I don't really know a lot about this book. I feel like at the minute we are doing a lot of the books that we should really be saving for spooky season, because I believe this is another Dark Academia, because it's Brooke haunts school for girls, infamous site of a series of tragic deaths over 100 years ago, soon to be the subject of a controversial horror movie about the rumoured Brooke haunts curse. In the early 1900s, Brooke haunts students Flo and Clara fell madly in love, brought together by their obsession for a scandalous memoir. For a few months later, they were found dead in the woods after a horrific wasp attack, the book lying next to their entwined bodies. 3 more grisly deaths followed before the school was forced to close. Now the school's doors are open once more, but as the crew of glamorous young actresses assemble to start filming, past and present begin to blur, and soon it's impossible to tell quite where the curse ends and Hollywood begins. So this does sound like a book that's going to be perfect for your spooky season reading. So I'm going to think of this as like a research task, and I am reading books that I think will fit the Dark Academia vibe, and I'm going to recommend them to you probably later on in the year. But I'm glad that this has come up on our wheel. I don't think I've actually ever explained our wheel. So I have a tiny decisions wheel on my phone, like one of those random generator things, and usually what we do is we pick 6 books each and then we read 1 a month, which hasn't happened really for the past couple of years that we've done it. We've read some books. I have mainly failed this task, if I'm honest. This year we've done something slightly different. We still are using a wheel, but we picked 3 books each and 3 prompts each. So it seems as though for the first 3 months we have gone through 50% of the books that we have physically put on there. So later on in this year we might be getting more prompts, which I think will also be like a really fun twist, because it means that when you spin the wheel, so what I do is I spin the wheel and I screenshot it and send it to Kate. She also has a YouTube channel now. I'll link that down below. You need to check her out. She is lovely, absolutely lovely. I really like her videos as well. She is cracking out the content. So if you want someone who's more consistent than me, definitely check her out. But I've lost my train of thought now. Found my train. But the idea of the prompts I think will be really helpful, because once you spin the wheel, you will actually be able to pick whatever you want as you're currently feeling. So I think that's going to be fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. It is a chunky book. And I have also rejigged my, what's it called? Something. My plans for the Crescent City series, which we can digest into that actually while we're here. So basically, I was gonna just skip the reread and go straight into House of Flame and Shadow. I read the first couple of pages and I was as lost as you could be. I don't know where I was going with that, but I was quite lost. So I think I'm going to reread both books audibly, which is how I've read them before. I've read House of Earth and Blood both physically and audibly, but I think I've only read House of Sky and Breath audibly. Either way, I'm going to be reading both books again. I don't particularly know when, so it's not really on this TBR, but I have got House of Earth and Blood on my Audible, so I can read that at any point, and then I've requested the sequel from my library, which I think comes in April. So I have all of this month. So my plan is, or March, not February, March, as we're recording this. So my plan is that audibly, like I said, currently as I'm filming this, I'm still listening to Empire of the Vampire. I will finish that. I will then move on to The Price of Power, because I'm listening to that audibly as well. And then we can do that with the live show. and then once I've done The Price of Power, I will go into Crescent City, which in theory should take me through the month of March, because Crescent City book 1 is a chunker, Empire of the Vampire is a chunker, not sure if I'm going to do Empire of the Damned physically or audibly yet, so we need to have room for that as well. So there's a lot going on, if I'm honest, but either way, it's going to be fun. I feel like this TBR is a lot more chaotic than it usually is, so I apologise if that isn't your thing, but if you're new here, hi, welcome, I'm Chelsea, and I am quite chaotic. Now we're on to the books that I want to finish. Now, I have already mentioned this one before, this is still Bone Child Daughter. I am keeping myself accountable as much as possible, really. I haven't picked this up this month at all. I'm trying to do the rules that Kate did, which was if she didn't read a book, she had to unhaul it. But I tweaked it a little bit and I said, well, as long as I'm a decent amount of the way in, I will not do that and finish the book. So we are about to go into March, technically, when this goes up. And I haven't finished either of these books. I will say, in my defence, the thing that is currently keeping me from finishing these books has literally been travelling. There's no excuse now, at the end of Feb, by the time I come home, why I haven't read this. But I haven't picked this up at all this month. But, like I said, March is going to be the month for finishing things off. So I've got 3 books on my TBR that I want to start and finish, and I've got 3 books here that I want to just finish. One of which being Bone Child Daughter, the other of which, you can't see what this is. This is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, which is the second Kate buddy read. So both of these are our buddy reads that I am yet to finish, but I don't want to travel with them because they are pretty. This one especially. Special edition, and this is a 5-year anniversary edition, and I don't really like travelling with hardbacks, if I'm completely honest, so not going to do that. And then the other one is none other than The Darkness Before Them by Matthew Ward. I did an interview with this author. He is so lovely. Check it out up here, it was so much fun. He also has written the Legacy trilogy, which I don't know where my copy is, but I own the first book in that, so my plan was to read this and then binge that whole trilogy. I am yet to do that. I have fallen off the wagon quite a bit, if I'm honest. So March is going to be the month where I finish this book, and Matthew, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry that I have not read this sooner. It seems to be the way with my reading currently, but I'm going to get better. I'm working on finding a way to make reading something that happens every day, as we all do. But yeah, these are the 3 that I want to carry over into next month that I will be crossing off, and hopefully when I do my wrap up at the end of March, I'll say, guys, I finished these books, look at me. Because all I want at the end of the day is you guys to be proud of me. That's it. Really. But yeah, those are the 6 books really that I want to read / finish in the month of March. Like I said earlier, there are other things that I want to read as well. I've got Spiffway books I need to read. I've got 2 of them. I've got Sphinx books as well, so we're just gonna go through and read what we can. I am away for the first weekend of March, but then I'm pretty sure the rest of the month is free for me, so that's positive, which means hopefully I shouldn't have any weekends where I'm away. Content should be on track. I have no excuse. I should be able to read. It should be all great. So if you enjoyed this TBR, please give it a thumbs up. It supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment down below of a book you're hoping to read in March. If you just want to leave me an emoji, leave me... oh, I don't know actually. Leave me any yellow emojis for Plain Bad Heroines. Yellow or pink, whichever tickles your fancy, to let me know that you are here. If you want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and ring that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload new videos. I am trying to upload twice a week, usually on Mondays and Thursdays. So be sure to stick around for more bookish content from me. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye.